Let me just catch the video up. We got the two graphs for the cubed roots because I had to record over it. Start point, two direction points. Now we're back to our equations. All right. Now, Bryce, what did you ask?
Do I need to write the top or bottom?
The top's what we did yesterday. This was square root. This is what we're doing today.
Cube root.
I was just making the connection between the two. All right. Let's do our how-to graph.
Hang on, don't leave it.
Okay. We'll do how to graph a cube root. Steps. This is for Cheyenne. An example. First thing is exactly the same as the first step yesterday. Graph the start point. HK. Remember, H is opposite. K is the same. Remember, with a third root, though, we need 3 points, and the start point's in the middle of the three. So looking at this one, what is my start point?
1.
1 what?
2 plus 2. Yeah, I always put
1, 2. Under the radical, outside the radical. If they're missing, they are 0.
But they ain't missing, so they
You right.
I wasn't even paying attention to that part. I was looking at the example.
All right. Yes?
No.
Step, Cheyenne, you're absolutely right. The next step is exactly the same as the next step on the square roots. Direction point. But we're going to call this, instead of just direction, we're going to call it direction 1. Because we have to do 2. So for direction 1, we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to take that H that we started with and add 1 to it. And plug in. Okay, so where is your H at, Andrew? What's your H? No, H. 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2.
Hold up. 1.
Okay, so I haven't plugged it in yet. Right now, I just, hold on. Everybody sees where the 2 came from, yes?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to plug it in because we need to know what is Y. Because a coordinate has 2 parts. It has an X and a Y.
All you do is you do that twice, but after you plug it in for X, you take that one and then add 1 to that. No? Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. You're trying to jump ahead to step 3. Shh. Plugging it back in, so now this is the cubed root. 2 minus 1 is?
1 plus 2 is 3.
Is 3. So, guys, I got things going on all over. I need y'all up here. Girls in the back, I need the laptops put away. I need y'all up here. You shouldn't have headphones in. None of that. You should be up here. All right. So, this point is 2, 3. This is direction 1. Is anybody confused? If this were a square root, I would be done. I would connect these and be done, but I'm not. I need a third point.
So, wait, so you got to do...
So here, this is where the new part comes in.
That's step number 3.
Step number 3.
That's number 2.
Yes, I did.
I thought you had to put the 3, a square root of the 3 would make that 1. What, dog?
Okay, so the cubed root of 1 is 1, plus 2 gives me the 3.
Yeah. And then I thought you had to go 3, root 3. It's going to equal 1.
No. Good point. He did make a good point. If you will pay attention, guys. When you have this under the radical, do not combine these first. Do the radical and then add the number on the end, okay? Jalen, put that up.
Like, you get 1.
I don't care. There's a clock right there.
You get 1 for the radical.
That's fact.
Say again, Cheyenne.
What do you do the radical first?
So what is the cube root of 1? 1. Then you add 2. Don't add first and then do the radical. Do radical, then add. All right, direction 2. Say again.
That's what I thought, right?
Direction 2. I added 1 to the start point.
We're gonna add 2. No?
Actually, okay, so look at what we did. Look at where the start point is. It's 1 to the right. Now I need to go 1 to the left.
So you're gonna make it negative 1.
So I'm gonna go back to, well, I'm gonna, I'm not doing. Instead of going right 1, I'm gonna go left 1. So I'm gonna take the h that I started with. Instead of adding 1 like I did here, I'm gonna subtract 1 and then I'm gonna plug it back in. It just changed, well,
In the middle.
yes, in the middle.
The original H you started with,
Yes.
so that 1 we got.
So you have the opposite H to this.
You don't know. You go back to this very first step. You take the 1 and now I'm going to subtract 1 from it.
So opposite and then same.
Yes. So this is 0. So it's 1 extra step from yesterday. Yesterday was steps 1 and 2. Now there's 1 extra step. I'm going to subtract 1 instead of just adding.
Plugging that 0 for that.
Yes. Yes. So same thing.
Plug in 0 for x.
I get the third root of 0 minus 1 plus 2. 0 minus 1 is what? Negative 1.
Plus 2.
What times itself 3 times gives you negative 1?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. What is negative 1 plus 2?
1.
1.
Why did you just do that? So negative 1, 1.
The cubed root of negative 1. Yeah, I did.
0, 1. No, 0, 1.
Wait, we plug in 0.
So
Taylor.
So if it wasn't negative 1 and it was like negative 3, or I mean negative 4, I would have to find out what it goes into.
It's all, if you always add 1 and subtract 1, what's under here is always going to be 1 or negative 1. Always. As long as you stick to what I told you to do, you'll always get a 1 or negative 1 under the radical.
So what did 3 minutes?
So you won't have to find a decimal or anything like that. That's why I have you do that. Say again, Kara.
Where did 3 minutes? You got equal negative 1.
The third root of negative 1 is negative 1. Okay? Zadie, if y'all will put that laptop completely away, take the headphones out of your ears, please, and pay attention.
That bitch not playing with the defense. Look on your ass. Word.
0, 1, 0, 1. That's D2. And now I'm ready to connect. Yesterday we had this much of it. Today we've just added the bottom tail. 2, 3 was start. 0, 1 was direction. 1, 2 was start. 2, 3, and 0, 1 were directions. Shh, 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 shh.
Alright.
Here we go. Start point. What is it?
Negative 3,
No, it's
0. 3, 0, my bad.
Change the sign under the radical. Keep it the same outside. So I got 3, 0. That's my start. 1, 2, 3. Start. Now remember, because this is a third root, let this indicate to you how many points you need in order to graph, okay? So I need 3 points. I have 1 point. So I need 1 direction, 2 direction, okay? Square roots need 2, cube roots need 3. This is the easiest thing in this part of the chapter, so make sure you get it, seriously. What? What'd you say, Shane?
Not okay.
3 plus 1. Which is 4. Shh, shh. So now, last one I ain't doing no more. 4, plug in, 1/2, cubed root, 4 minus 3. I was thinking 1 and then put 1. What's the cubed root of 1? What's 1/2 times 1?
2. Wait, 1/2.
Brady, this is the same problem we talked about yesterday. What's 1/2 times 1?
1/2.
1/2. So this is 4
And 1/2.
1/2. 4 1/2.
I
Yes.
didn't catch that first part of doing it.
I added 1 to this.
Okay, so that's how you get the 4.
Mhm.
Alright, yeah.
Now direction.
Direction 2, instead of adding 1 to that 3, I'm going to take 1 away from that 3.
It's negative.
That'd be 2.
No, you said we spell out with a negative.
So under that, whenever I plug it in, Cheyenne, it's going to be -1.
Or negative 3.
2 minus 3 is -1. Right? All I'm doing is plugging in here. So if I plug in a 2, 2 minus 3 is -1 under the radical. And then the third root of -1 is...
So to begin with, like when you're writing the x equals, you're not going to change your 3 at that.
No. Keep it. You've already changed it. Always go back to the start point. That's what you're using. Yeah. Yes. I'm out, actually. You have to get some from the nurse. 1/2 times -1, which is -1/2.
Yeah.
So at this point,
But don't move it.
okay. And I just connect them. These get, the closer they are, they're a little bit harder to connect.